Hello everybody, and welcome back to Skyward Sword. And it's been like half an hour since our last recording. and
we were busy looking at pictures.
Yep. And talking about free speech. Pictures and free speech. Well, I know that their house is one of these many houses.
Yeah, but they don't name their houses on the map, so good luck.
Not until you find them, anyway. After you find them, then they name them.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I just kind of put a beacon in the center of the whole plaza.
Because you need to.
And I will check each one and see whose house is whose. Like, we're gonna walk in this house and see whose house this is. And this is the exact house I was looking for. Nice. Cookie-o, she's safely back at home. And now we can get some gratitude crystals. I still think it's awkward that gratitude crystals just kind of sprout out of their head.
Video games also called some gratitude crackles.
I also think that gratitude crystals look an awful lot like star bits.
Yes, he has to mention about that. It's like, yeah, one of those is pretty sure they ripped it out right off of Mario Galaxy.
Probably. I mean, why use a new? Why spend why spend the money to make somebody make a new model when you already have a perfectly working model? Think of how cheap Hyrule Warriors was to probably make. All they had to do was buy all of the models from Nintendo.
Yep.
I wonder where she's gone. Oh, that's right, there's another side quest that we have to do! Side quests! He's worried about his sister who went off flying last night. And he doesn't know where she went, because she hasn't come home yet. Although he states that I looked everywhere for her. He didn't look very far, because she's not that far away. She really isn't. I'm counting on you, Link. You could just fly around that area, I mean, really. I left my beacon. I can't wait to get the upgrade so that I have more than one beacon. Because I regularly forget to pick up my beacons. I don't remember when it is that you get that upgrade, though. I don't remember if it's after you reforge your sword, or if you get it before you reforge your sword. Flop. Hello. So he didn't look very hard. Whoa. She's right here. The bird got injured. It can't just be any medicine. It has to be bird medicine. Will you get some bird medicine for me? Yay! I'm pacing around in the plaza. Well, duh. He's probably in the same spot that he was last time I looked. Last time I was in Skyloft. Lying down. Now there's I mean, paying somebody to make models for stuff is actually very, very expensive.
I imagine so.
And a single person will work hours just on one model. So it is entirely possible. The reason why the gratitude crystals look like star bits is because they probably went and just took that model because A, they had already made it, and B, it was probably cheaper to, you know, do that than pay people to make a whole nother model. So, and I mean, they kind of look like crystals, so why not? Now, I sometimes wonder if the story that Hyrule Warriors had was because of the models they were able to get. Like, they could have done really anything with the story, and they decided to do the time travel and stuff. I can't help but wonder if that was because they got the rights to use like an assortment of Legend of Zelda models, and so they just like went, hey, we've got like, you know, we got some Skyward Sword models, we got some Twilight Princess models. None of them go together though. So let's make a game where all of it is one thing. Sure, why not? And thus Hyrule Warriors and the 3 timelines that it covers. In fact, Eiji Aonuma, fans asked Eiji Aonuma where Hyrule Warriors occurs on the timeline, and he said, honestly, it probably occurs on its own timeline because of the fact that it touches all of the timelines. And Hyrule Warriors Legends is going to be coming out sometime. I don't remember when. I'm thinking next year, but I don't remember for sure. But it's going to be adding Wind Waker into the mix, which means all of the Zelda timelines are now in the game. I mean, you had the Unified timeline, then you had the Adult Link timeline, then you had the Child Link timeline, or excuse me, you had the Decline timeline, and the Young Link timeline. And now they're adding the Adult Link timeline. Something like that. I know what I'm saying. I just can't keep track of my words. They had Ocarina of Time, they had Twilight Princess, they had Skyward Sword. Actually, they did not do the Decline timeline now that I think about it. So that's one timeline that wasn't touched. It was... yeah, until Hyrule Warriors Legends comes out, it's entirely possible that it could occur on the Child timeline, because they only use the Unified and the Child timeline for the series, or for the game. Because they use Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and Ocarina of Time. Interesting. I guess I hadn't realized that. But now they're going to be adding in Wind Waker, so it's definitely got to be on its own timeline, because that no longer makes sense. Although they did add some DLC recently that does add in something from the Decline timeline. The original Link from the Legend of Zelda 1. There's actually a skin for him. Now, so thanks to DLC, you can now play as Classic Link. And so there is something for the Decline timeline now, technically. So we'll have to see what they do for Hyrule Warriors Legends. See what all they add into the story. 'Cause I'm a little curious about that.
Yep.
Hyrule Warriors actually has a pretty decent storyline. I actually really enjoyed it. So it's a pretty good storyline, pretty coherent storyline too. Like, you could easily make sense out of everything. Oh goody, we got Jelly Blob. I suppose we didn't have any of those yet. Let's go collect us some rupees. Because we're going to need some rupees to get us some upgrades. We also need a few other things, but I don't know if we can actually access any of them yet. We need Eldin ore in order to get one of the upgrades, and we can't get that yet. We were in Eldin, so we can get it here, but we need like the digging mitts or something in order to actually dig it up. We don't have that yet. I probably won't do any upgrades anyway until after. Probably not until after the 3rd dungeon, because I'll probably pick up the Sacred Shield for the 3rd dungeon. I think you can get that at that point. And once you get the Sacred Shield, then we can start working on upgrading stuff. So I definitely want to get the Sacred Shield and then upgrade it all the way, because I'm going to need a fully powered Sacred Shield when we fight the final boss. That, or I'm going to need the Hylian Shield. Speaking of the Hylian Shield, I've never actually done the Hero's Trial.
You never did?
Nope. So I may have to actually do that. So look forward to that, I guess. It's not too hard, really. Yeah.
It's just bosses again.
I will say that it's not confirmed that I'm doing the thing, but it is entirely possible. Although on the aspect of confirmed, we recently discovered that one of our friends is a platinum dragon.
I promised her I would keep it a secret.
Right? Actually, we have a friend in D&D, and her name is Insanity. At least her username is Insanity. And she went out and dyed her hair purple, and then she took a picture of herself, and for some odd reason, in that picture, she has these like really weird like purple looking eyes.
Yep.
And if you don't know the Versame universe because you haven't been checking out the D&D podcast, hashtag check out the podcast on my Patreon.
Oh my gosh, not that hashtag.
In the Versame universe, which is a universe of my own creation, there are 11 dragon types, the 5 typical chromatics, the 5 typical metallics, and then platinum dragons. Platinum dragons are the guardians of time. It should be noted that they are specifically the guardians of time. They will not help out the world when it needs help unless it is going to somehow corrupt the timeline. So that is a very important plot point, if you will. So I think there's only one platinum dragon currently acting on his own, and that's a little platinum dragon child by the name of Hiromote.
Yep.
But that's because he's mostly human at the moment.
Yep, he is.
So he's kind of lived a human life, so he feels like he should, you know, invest himself in the affairs of mortals, which his father, Bahamut, the god of time, is perfectly okay with, as long as his helping doesn't corrupt the timeline, which may or may not come into play at some point. I mean, what?
Yeah. But yeah, basically the rule is you can live in this timeline, but if you purposely change the time, then yeah, that's a big no-no.
Yep.
He's only there to help out because who knows? Maybe in the time the party is supposed to win, and him helping isn't going to do much.
Right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure that if Hiroki or Hiromut or whatever you want to call him, I'm sure that if any action he took would hurt the timeline, I'm sure that his father would come out and say, "Yo, don't do this because it will harm time." So,
all right, Daddy.
Right?
Mhm.
Oh, did I kill it with that? I'm surprised. Okay. That surprises me. It really does. I love how they zoom the camera into a position so you can't see Link, so that way you can move around freely in the tunnel without having to worry about it, affecting anything. Like they don't have to create some explanation for how Link can turn around when he's too big for the tunnel.
Maybe he's trying to mini Link, tiny Link, the kid's Link.
Something. Who knows?
I know Ocarina of Time did it, but it still is kind of cool to switch between Adult Link and Child Link.
Yeah. It is an interesting idea, and actually, Twilight Princess was originally going to have an element of that in it, but I don't know, at some point during development they decided against it because I remember before Twilight Princess came out, like theories and stuff were all out there and stuff, and IG was like, yeah, this is going to include another two timeline, another adult and child thing.
Well, one of the things they could do for that is say, okay, now you start out as Child Link, right?
Yeah.
And then later on in the game, basically time passed and you had to help again. You can easily do that.
Something.
Like you're going along with the story.
Right. Or you can do what Hyrule Warriors did.
Yep.
Which is simply just include both characters as completely separate entities and somehow they both exist at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. But you get my point. It's kind of like, be more story based than, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that always works, really. That can always work. I mean, it's always so cool to see things like that.
Yep. Actually, the Birth of the Dragon Men campaign includes an element of that at one point. If you play all three campaigns, at some point... Whoops. No. I'm trying to center my controller, not to you.
That's a bad.
Yeah, it went away. But in the Birth of the Dragon Men campaign, in the second one, there's actually a point where it starts out right after the first campaign, but over the course of the first chapter, 5 years will pass.
So the 12-year-old Hiroki will be basically, you said 5 years, right? So 17.
Yep. 12-year-old Hiroki will be 17 by the second chapter of the Birth of the Dragon Men campaign.
Which is actually accurate since, well, the idol is practically 17 when he, well, something happens to him at that age. because he's considered as a young adult by then.
Yep. Pretty much. I think
So he's his age.
I think we're gonna go ahead and call this episode here. Next episode, we'll head down into this little gushing air thingy. See what is up there in that area.
Cave thing. There's some way to get up there, but I can never remember how to do it. Really?
I can't.
You just jumped into the guts things, don't you?
No, up to this heart piece that's up there.
Oh.
There's you have to come down to get to it. So I think I have to go up into something. I think I have to get much further on before I can get to it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, if you've been enjoying, please feel free to subscribe. Feel free to leave a like. Check out our Patreon. Check out our check out Mia's channel rather. And we'll see everybody next time.
Bye bye. Sorry.
Keep calm and funny on, everybody.